Hi, welcome to a new little video. In this video, I want to talk about getting your clothes dry in such a small space. Now, if you don't know me, I converted this little Peugeot partner into a micro camper a few years back. And I like to go away on photography trips, but unfortunately I've got a spinal problem, which does make it a little bit more difficult. So for me, it is normally only 1 or 2 nights. So some of the tips that I'm going to give, your mileage may vary, dependent on that. So the first thing I want to talk about is be prepared. No matter whether it's sunny, raining, fog, whatever the conditions, make sure you've got everything in your van that you actually need. Now, always just check the weather forecast. Now, for me, I have waterproofs. Now, I have a waterproof coat, a big waterproof thick coat that I take with me, but also I have a little waterproof thing that pulls over the top, very thin, just folds up. So I always keep one of those in here, and I always keep some waterproof just pull over trousers. Again, they're very thin, they roll up, they don't take up that much space. So if you are going out for a little walk or anything like that, yes, you may look silly, but at least you're wet. Then the advantage with those, because of the silky, the smoothness of the actual outer thing, they do actually dry quickly. And the one main thing that I invested in this year was waterproof trainers, and that is the one best thing, because I used to go out, because especially with me with the photography, I'm out in the morning when it's damp, it's wet and everything else. My feet used to get soaked, my socks used to get soaked. I come back with absolutely soaking wet socks. So with waterproof trainers or walking boots or whatever, that is the one main thing, because your feet, you always want to try and keep your feet warm. So that's the one thing. But yeah, getting on to actually drying the things. Now, for me, my trips, like I say, is 1 or 2 nights. So for me, what I actually do is I've got these little collapsible like coat hangers. Now, what I do with those is anything that I do get wet, say I've got my jumper wet or my trousers wet, what I do is hang those up in like the front passenger seat or the back or anything like that. And then when I'm driving along, because you've got the heating on, that dries. Now, if you have got a diesel heater in your vehicle, which unfortunately I haven't, then again, you can do exactly the same by hanging your clothes up, having the diesel heater on, that's drying them. The one thing that I would say is always crack a window open, though, because you do want fresh air to come in, because the condensation or whatever, from your clothes, can, 1, smell, and 2, especially with me, I've got carpet all the way around, can then make things mouldy. So that's what I do anyway. But the one thing that I will say, that's the best way to actually do it. And then if I have got anything that is completely wet, again, because mine is only 1 or 2 days, I have carrier bags and bin liners and bits and pieces. So what I actually do is anything that is really wet, wrap them in one bag, then in another, tie that off, and then just put that under there. So when you get back, yes, they are going to smell damp, they are going to be absolutely soaking wet, but at least then you can just get them in your washing machine, at home. So like I say, the one thing is always be prepared, no matter what the weather, and it depends on where you go. It depends on what part of the country you're in as well. I mean, if you're in Scotland, you're going to get a lot more weather than down south, a lot more wet weather than down south. So yeah, that's my little tips anyway. But the one thing, no matter what the weather, just get out there and enjoy it. Like I say, I wish I could be out a little bit more, even in weather like this. I like going out with the photography and, just taking images, especially like, your little water droplets on leaves and stuff like that. See, I'm being a bit sad now. If you want to know how I actually built this, I've done full build videos, on my channel. So I'll put links in the description. So go and have a look at that, because I did this car. The total for me cost 1,350 quid, I think it was. That was including the actual vehicle itself. Yes, it was an old vehicle, but it served me right for 2 years so far. So have a look at that anyway. If you do like these little tips, please subscribe, especially subscribe, because I'm trying to grow the channel a little bit. And I'm going to be giving you a bit more tips, and everything else. The way that I find works best for me in this little camper. But again, main thing, get out there. So again, thank you for watching, and goodbye for now. Bye. But I try and go away as much as possible. And yeah. But the main thing that I say is, I cocked that up, didn't I?